Hi everybody, this is Tom Grisak here with a special guest. This is someone you've probably seen his projects and see the beautiful homes in his projects, but maybe don't even know his name. To my right here is Steve Dinapoli, the developer, and we're going to be talking about one of his new developments and also talk about some of the developments he's done in Fairview. And then to Steve's right is one of our great agents, Sean, who's been with us for working on this for
5 years now.
Yeah, 5 years, and been working on this project for a long time.
Yep.
So these things take a long time to put together. And then to Sean's right is Aaron Hickman, our senior VP, who's also been in on this from day one. We are so excited to get close to this, and we are almost at the point where streets are going to be cut in and we can start actually selling these lots. It's been a long process. First, before we talk about Barratt Lake Estates, which is in Lucas, I want to let Steve talk about some of the projects that he's done. If you live in Fairview or know Fairview, you probably at least driven by Three Oaks, and that was Steve's development, and he also did Oak Meadows, which is right around the corner and down the street. Steve, when did you come out here and start developing? How long ago?
Approximately 2013.
Okay, and you had seen some, you've done some work in Parker, developing, right?
Yes, the Reserve in Parker, and in Frisco, the Plantation Resort, and in Plano, Lakeside on Preston.
Okay, well, your first one out here was Three Oaks.
That's correct.
And I'm gonna be rolling some pictures up. You'll be able to see in the corner of some of the gorgeous homes in Three Oaks. We think those will be very similar caliber, quality, that the homes that are going to be coming into Barratt Lake Estates. And then after that, you developed, this was a really interesting piece of land. If you lived out here for a while, at the very end of Red Oak Trail, it used to dead end, kind of at the top of a hill, and you'd look down and it was just, there was nothing there. He took it was a pretty property, but there really, it really took some real imagination to do that, because it was, a lot of that was in the floodplain. And
Approximately 60 acres of the 84.
Right, so we had to figure out a way to take it out of the floodplain and then develop the lots, and those averaged about 2 acres, I guess, buildable, although it was 4 acres average, I'd say. So just a fabulous subdivision. So he's going in with a real great track record and pedigree. Tell us how you originally found the Barratt Lake Estates. How did the name come about?
Well, first off, just a very short comment about myself. Yes, I'm a real estate developer, but I really think of myself as an artist, and I'm being very serious. My canvas is the land, okay? When I look at a piece of land, first thing I ask myself, if a family is moving in, what sort of a lifestyle would they like? And how do we maximize the value and accessibility of the immediately available amenities?
Mm-hmm.
Relative to Barratt Lake, well, in Oak Meadows, the floodplain, we were able to work very closely with the town of Fairview. They were fantastic. We were able to figure out a way, and it was easy, to take part of the floodplain and attach it to the lots for the benefit of the homeowner, but they couldn't develop in it. So that's why we built the stone wall, and that is the differentiation between the buildable area and the non-buildable area. And then we put the fence in, and then the rest of the floodplain, we divided into 2 parts, one for the HOA to own and for the residents to enjoy. And we decided that we were going to make a gift, a donation to the town of Fairview, to their park department, up against Wilson Creek. And we worked very closely with them. This was very good. I do want to say that this was my first experience working with the Grisak group. They were very, very important, and that's the reason why we continue to work with them. They are good partners in the process.
Thank you.
They understand what I want to do. They understand how I approach things. Barratt Lake, how did it come to us? It was on the market. To be quite candid, it came to my attention through the Grisac group because they were aware that it was coming on the market. They had had contact with the owners. I was introduced to them. I sat and spent some time with Mark and Carroll Barratt, thank you, and shared with them what my view was. I used to have a lot of horses. I rode rodeo. I understand the beauty of a horse, the trust elements of a horse that they give to you. If you look at the Barratt property, it should be a horse property for a number of reasons. It's large enough to accommodate horses, plus it's immediately adjacent to the Corps of Engineer Lake Lavon floodplain that contains the Trinity Trails, a designated, improved, and maintained trail for horses.
Equestrian and hiking trail.
And hiking.
Yeah.
No motorized vehicles in there.
None whatsoever, none legally whatsoever. So this is an opportunity for the residents in Barratt Lake Estates to access that. And once we arrived at that conclusion, then I thought, wait a minute, the price of this property, the amenities that are available, we ought to look into the possibility, can we designate this as a privately gated community? And the Grisac group was tremendously supportive in that. The city of Lucas was tremendously supportive of that. So this will be a community of lots, large lots, built on a special property that is topographically enhanced, has a small 1.5 acre spring-fed lake on it, and has trees on it. And Tom and Carol have owned it for so long and loved it. Because they loved it, my thought was, we need to give them thanks for hanging on to it and allowing it to be developed in the manner in which it is. And therefore, I decided to take the name Barratt Lake Estates, and that's now the official lake of this subdivision.
Mm-hmm. And there were some
name of this subdivision.
If you've ever been involved in the development of property, there are always challenges that you run into. We had some challenges on this one too. One of them was the lot size. We had to conform within certain lot sizes, which found a great workaround for that. So there are 13 lots in there, and you can go ahead and describe. Sean, why don't you tell them what the lot sizes are?
Yeah, that again is just a testament to Steve and his creativity. We did find out that the original plan was not going to work based on kind of what was going on out there, and so he came up with an idea to change the lot sizes. So we do have 11 lots that will be roughly 2 acres, a little bit over, and then we're going to have 2 lots. They're going to be 6 acres in total, and those are going to be huge tracts of land where you can have multiple animals, and they're going to feed directly into the trail system. And you know, one of them is going to have a lake view, so it's just going to be a phenomenal layout. So in total, 13 lots. 2 will be 6 acres, and the other 11 will be roughly between 2 and 2.25 acres.
You can have on the 2 acre lots, you can have either a 1 horse or a llama. They're going to allow llamas.
Yeah.
The neat thing about this property, and I'm pulling up a map right now to show you where it is, you really feel like you're out in the country, but we live right around the corner from there, and I can be from our house to at say Uncle Julio's in Allen in probably 8 to 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've got such quick access to all, you can go to a hockey game, semi-pro hockey game at the Allen Event Center, 8 to 9 minutes. Any shopping along Stacy Road, and there's more coming into it, Stacy and 75. So you've got the benefit. People think they want country, they really don't want country, they want close-in country, and that's exactly what this is. Another neat thing about this is Lake Lavon is just to the east of this property. So nights are dark. There's tons of wildlife because you're all around all of that wildlife around Lake Lavon hasn't been disturbed. There are deer back there, believe it or not. but you look up at night and you can see the stars. As you get closer into the Allen area, of course, you lose that. So it's a very, very special piece of property, and we all have felt like it was probably the premier property in Lucas and Fairview since we first saw it.
For sure.
And someone with a vision like Steve, you know, he can put something like that together that can accentuate how wonderful it really is. And I'll be pulling up some shots of it in the snow too. Believe it or not, it was just snowing here back in, I don't know, January, February. But it's a very special property, and one of the great things about it too is, if you're familiar with school districts, Lovejoy ISD is one of the top 3 school districts in Texas year after year after year. It's right there with Carroll and Highland Park. They kind of rotate who's number 1. So between this country feel and you're surrounded by homes of similar quality, these are probably going to be, what would you say, 1.8 to 2.5 million dollar homes. Starting at 1.8. You're going to be surrounded by similar homes. It's going to be gated community, which is very unusual. There's only one other gated community in Lucas with big acreage. Then of course there's Seis Lagos, but gated communities are hard to find. So this is going to be special in a lot of different ways. You're planning on lots being completed by when?
I would think end of the 3rd quarter, beginning of the 4th quarter, 2021.
Okay. And obviously concrete street, underground utilities.
Yep.
Yes.
It will be propane. Natural gas hasn't been run out there that far yet. As I said, we live around the corner. We have Big Wave Wireless, and that's a big deal for out here too. We've been stuck with some really undesirable internet speeds for many years. With Big Wave now, we're getting 50 down, which is tremendous. I'm kind of spoiled. You know, may not be much to guys in Allen, but 50 down and 10 up, that's pretty darn good, and that's their top package. So, what else am I missing? Aaron, what else?
I think you hit on a lot of the points. I just think what's great and what we've seen, a lot of the buyers that are coming in that want to build custom, a lot of people do want that gated kind of exclusive feel in a neighborhood. And so Barratt Lake Estates will definitely check a lot of boxes off for buyers. And I'm quite fond of the lots that will go up what we're calling Vaquero Lane, Vaquero Way? Vaquero Way. At the end of that street are those beautiful, those lots that will back to some of that gorgeous core property. And I have a feeling that those will be the ones that will sell first.
Right.
One of the things that I did not mention, and when I was referencing the physical attributes of the property, one of the things that I forgot to mention, the center of the property, there is a 50-foot elevation difference between that location and the perimeter. The center is 50 feet higher. So the lots that you were mentioning, which are on the perimeter, they're going to get a portion of the benefit of that elevation to see the distance. And we've also designed, with the GRESAC group help, we've designed the deed restrictions to encourage. Now, I used to have horses, rode rodeo, I know what it's like to own horses. A lot of times you can't just do one. So we've set it up where to get multiple horses, you have to combine 2 lots.
Or buy one of the bigger.
Or buy a 6-acre.
Or buy a 6-acre
Yeah,
lot.
yep.
So we've really encouraged a buyer, if they have the desire and the willingness to invest the money and they want more than one horse, they have the ability to do that through assembling a smaller lot than the 6 by combining 2
Absolutely.
2-acre lots.
Right.
Yep.
So it's going to be a really interesting community.
Right.
That's what happened in Oak Meadows. Is we had the lots were done and complete, and a buyer came in and said, I want to combine 2 of these lots.
They did,
it was
right.
at the very end, and it turned out to be a beautiful
Sure.
property.
It's a great experience.
Yeah. Did you mention that there will be 2 lots in that community that are 6 acres?
Mm-hmm.
And
There will
those,
be 2, yeah.
So there's going to be 2, and those have the access onto the Trinity Trail.
Direct access.
Correct.
Direct
Yeah.
access.
I also didn't mention, I neglected to have mentioned my third subdivision in this area, Town of Fairview, Lovejoy Independent School District. Grisant Group has also been involved in that one. The name of that one is Harbor Oaks Estates, and again, it's been a very, very good experience. Nice development, good experience with the builder, and good experience with the Grisant Group. So
And the coolest homeowners live in Harbor Oaks too. Like there's so many nice, wonderful people. So a shout out to the Meadows if they're watching this, Miranda.
I don't know if we mentioned, did we say it's bring your own builder?
No,
out here?
I was getting ready to
We're
say
not
that.
tied to any specific builder?
We're not
Okay.
tied to a
Okay.
builder.
Okay.
Right, and there are a lot of great builders out here, so, we can give you the names of several if you're, if you don't have a builder of your own, but, that's what's, a lot of people really do wanna have their own, they've developed, maybe the builders built with them in the past, and, so that's gonna be nice for them. What else? Do you wanna talk about lot prices yet?
it's up to y'all, that's fine.
They are on our
Give a range.
website, but the entry lots are listed right now at $450. And for the vast majority of the 2-acre lots, you're seeing it go up to $675, and those are the
Right.
ones that back the core and have lake views, so there's a lot premium for those.
Those are 2-acre lots.
Those are 2-acre lots, so between $450 and $675 for the 2-acre lots, depending on the amenities that they come with. And then the 2 6-acre tracts are gonna be 1.2 and then 1.4, and the one that's 1.4 does have a side with the lake. And like we said, both will have immediate access to the trails.
Just the best. I've been so excited about this property because when you go out there, I think it's one of the prettiest properties that I've seen in the area. And first was Oak Meadows. When you developed that, it was beautiful back there. And so this, I think, will truly be the kind of the crown jewel of the area when it's all said and done.
It's
I
'cause
think
it's got topography, you know?
Yeah.
I think of all the development experience that I've had, and I've developed on some really beautiful properties, this is probably the prettiest.
Yeah.
It's
People think
beautiful.
of Lucas, they drive through kind of the perimeter, they think it's laser flat and there are no hills. As you get around Lake Lavon, that's where the hills are, and that's where this property is located. If you enjoy wildlife, which I do, you'll see all kinds of wildlife out there. You name it, ducks, hawks, bobcats, anything you can imagine you'll see there because that land is untouched. It's pristine. So for hiking or riding a horse, I mean, it's right outside your gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Minimum square footage on homes are going to be 5,000.
Air conditioned square feet.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's air conditioned. Does not include the garage. What else?
And even though they're not gonna be ready until fall, winter, we're actually getting them out on MLS at the end of this month, within the week probably, so we can start taking deposits, talking to people about
Right.
specifics, vetting builders, so that's coming in
They can
June.
begin their planning.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. I think it's a great community and it's so nice to finally have a place because, again, going back to Oak Meadows, when we sold there, because the lots were so big, the net usable was smaller, but people were like, can we bring a horse? Can we bring our horse? And so now we've given an option for
And they
that.
couldn't out there.
And they couldn't do it
Right.
there.
The
Right.
problem in Oak Meadows was the fact that half of the lots were in floodplain.
Correct.
And you couldn't build a barn in the floodplain, so you
Right.
had no place to
Couldn't
house the
them.
horse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In this case, we don't have that problem.
I've got to tell you a funny story about Oak Meadows. Who was it you I was out there with? Someone I was out there with, and we were talking about, there are deer back there.
Did they climb a tree?
I was there. Funny.
And-
Well, I was there. We were.
When I
last
said
night.
that, a deer ran across
Yes.
the meadow.
Yes,
of the
I was
paddock.
with you.
Right.
I
And
was
jumped,
there.
and jumped the concrete fence.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just like it was
It
nothing.
was like this. Cue the deer to come across.
Release the deer.
Release the deer. We have buyers out here looking. No, it's perfect
Oh, that's
timing.
great.
Yeah.
Perfect. That
So
was a
you've
fun
got everything
project.
here. You got quick location, and it probably takes about 12 to 15 minutes to get to 75 if you go straight up Bethany. But it's even closer to go to all that shopping if you're going north or going out 121. It's a easy, you'll learn to use all the back roads out here. You'll stay off the major thoroughfares, and you'll find your way around. Great, beautiful drive up to the old historic McKinney through the back roads. It's just a great area. So,
And it will be quiet at night and dark
Mm-hmm.
at night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for people that fish and like to kayak, how far is it to that boat?
Oh, gosh.
drop in
It's about a
Lavon?
mile and a half hike, maybe a little bit
So
less, because
awesome.
we hiked it recently, and it's a beautiful walk, and it's
Yeah.
maybe a 15-minute walk just to get out of the fishing area.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the
it's
boat
pretty-
ramps maybe 4 or 5 minutes away.
It's in that same
Drive,
area,
it's
yeah.
drive. You can
Right.
literally
Right.
drive to the boat ramp.
You can, yep.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So anyway, we hope we're going to be updating you on our website, and obviously call Sean, Aaron, or me if you have questions. And you can find us at Grisak, GRISAK.com, or you can go to BarrattLakeEstates.com, BARRATT LakeEstates.com, and that's where we'll be doing updates. We're gonna be flying it as soon as the streets are being cut in. I'll fly out there, the drone, and watch them cutting through the streets. So you'll see it come together just like we did on Oak Meadows. We're real excited about it. Anything else you guys want to add?
I think
Get
that's
in
it.
now.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
start calling in,
Land.
because I think there's gonna be a lot of interest.
And I'm telling you, land is not getting any cheaper. Lucas and Fairview Fairview is almost developed out. It's close. Lucas, there are still some tracks left, but if you want to be in Lovejoy,
It's hard.
there's nothing. I mean, there may be one that may become available sometime down the road, but to get something in Lovejoy, which is the biggest draw out here, this is a great opportunity. And once these lots are gone, they're gone. So keep it in mind, and please give us a call if we can help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.